Hi, good morning, everyone. Kindly confirm you can hear me by showing an emoji. If you can hear me, kindly just wave an emoji. Let me see. Give me an emoji if you can currently hear me. All right, great, great, great. Thank you very much. Jessica, Babatunde, Jovita, thank you very much. And you all are very much welcome to the Africa Cyberfest. Yeah, there you have it, the Africa Cyberfest. And please give me a minute. Uh, I won't be admitting any. I won't be admitting any artificial intelligence note taker. Apologies. So please, if you know you have any, kindly just help us take them out of the meeting. Thank you very much. Like I was saying, you're welcome to the Africa Cyberfest 2025, and it's a pleasure to have each and every one of you here today. We're doing this every year to bring cybersecurity and the youth within Africa together to foster capacity building and also knowledge sharing so that we can foster a strong, resilient Africa cyberspace. And that's what we always do at the Africa Cyberfest. And that's why we are bringing you this workshop, a different flavor to what we have always been having. Okay, so I want to know where you're joining us from. So please, in the chat box, kindly just drop us your location. So if you're joining us from Lagos, you're joining us from anywhere, so just drop your location, not your state or your location, so we can know for a fact where you're joining us from, so that I can welcome you proper. All right. So please drop it on the chat. I want to know where you are joining us from. Thank you. Okay. Hold on. That's the chat. All right. So all right, so we have Oluwaseyi from Benin, we have Moses from Lagos, Jessica from Lagos, we have Babatunde from Abuja, we have Jovita also from Abuja. Yeah, thank you all. I still have a lot of persons on this call. Okay, we have more of Lagos people. All right, all right, all right. That's cool. So as you guys saw this morning, at least the range fell because we are kickstarting the African Cyber Fest. You see, it's a good sign, yeah. It's a good sign that this year's conference is going to be very, 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 very fruitful. All right, so we took a different twist and turn, but we're still giving you the actual Africa Cyber Fest. And that's why we are bringing the pre-conference workshop. I'm not going to go into details about the team. I won't let the cat out of the bag yet. So just enjoy the pre-conference. The main thing will the main things that we're going to be doing at the conference. Don't worry, we will let you guys know gradually as time goes on. Okay. So, but you all know the team, cybersecurity in the age of artificial intelligence. So this workshop is geared towards practical implementation of these artificial intelligence and cybersecurity operations. All right. So want to be able to use artificial intelligence to optimize our cybersecurity operations, our workflow, how we're able to interact. And we're going to be doing this in a 3-day kind of series, okay, so that you'll be able to get enough practical um, should I say, experience from this. We want to make this as practical as possible so that you can be able to interpret this, use this whenever you can. So this workshop team is no code, AI automation, building agents for cyber ops. All right. So it's no code, AI automation, building agents for cyber ops. All right. So we try as much as possible to make it as no code. That means even someone that don't really know how to code can be able to use it. All right. So we're going to be diving right into it. I'm going to be inviting a speaker with he's a friend as well. He has a vast experience in software engineering. So, but he's a AI enthusiast. So let me go get his bio. I read it. It's quite short, but let me get the bio. So this person is an experienced software engineer and with 8 years of experience, hands-on, and also building scalable system. Passionate about innovation, cross-functional collaboration, and leveraging technology to solve real-world problems. Let me tell you a quick backstory to um, how I got very interested in AI. It was due to him because he tried as much as possible to use AI to solve some of the mundane tasks, and it was quite fascinating and quite motivating. So please, with a warm round of applause, let's make welcome Victor. Please, with a warm round of applause, let's make welcome Victor. I can't see the round of applause. I can't see the round of applause.
Yeah, hi guys. Nice to meet you
Hi,
all.
Victor.
Yeah,
How you doing this
thanks.
morning?
Pretty well. Um, it's sunny now. It was raining earlier this morning, but it's good.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to have you currently at the Africa Cyberfest. So we look forward to the brilliant section you're about to give us. Thank you very much for doing this with us. So over to you, Victor.
Yeah, thanks, Mariana. Hi guys, welcome to Africa Cyberfest. We have a lot to discuss about, and yeah, I just want you to follow me on this journey of what we are going to be discussing today. So
So
I will
we
share
seem
my
to have lost Victor there. So before Victor gets his network sorted, so let me just give you a brief into the objective of this pre-conference workshop. Yeah, so we want to be able to introduce cybersecurity professionals like to the concept of the practical applications of artificial intelligence. So if it is you're scanning, if you're scanning, let's say you're performing reconnaissance in offensive security, or you're doing something, you can be able to use AI agents to automate that. If it's GRC, so we just want to introduce this concept. We want to also explore prompt engineering, AI logic, and also provide practical demonstration. So this is for even the beginner cybersecurity. And let me tell you something. There's also a catch here. All right, you will be able to get a workshop certificate that you've participated only if you attend the 3 days workshop series. If you have full complete attendance, you get that certificate and also a chance to win a ticket to the Africa Cyberfest. Yeah, a chance to win a ticket. All right. So don't miss that chance. Don't miss that opportunity. So right now, as you're on the call, you can also use the hashtag at hashtag Africa Cyberfest 2025 and also and also at us at Africa Cyberfest as well. Okay, so to share your own experiences, share what you're learning, so you can also stand a chance to win that ticket. All right. So and also get your certificate. Okay, Victor, are you here with us?
yeah.
Are you back?
Just
All
confirm if you
right.
can see my screen. Yeah.
So I can see your screen. Okay, but I can't see you.
Uh, I'm not sure you are going to see me because of the sharing.
Okay. All right, great. So let me just hand over back to you again, Victor.
Okay. Um, Welcome to Africa Cyberfest, May 2025. Today we'll be discussing about building agents for cyber operations, right? And what we'll be talking about today is going to be a phishing detection system or a phishing AI agent. So, like you all know, my name is Victor Nwogu. I'm a senior software engineer at Nigeria. Okay, so here's a tip. Before we dive into what we'll be discussing today, I just want to give you a tip about phishing, which states that it doesn't always aim to steal your password. Sometimes it's just testing who will click a link or who will scan a QR code. But at the end, it will always steal your information. So here's a tip about phishing. So our talk today is going to be on phishing, right? So first we'll be discussing what you already know about phishing. key indicators and how they help us in setting percentages for our phishing agents. We'll also talk about different OpenAI models that was used to build this particular system, having cost in mind and how they work, right? Thirdly, we'll look at the demonstration of how this AI agent works, how we integrated with emails and notification systems using Telegram. And lastly, we would also have room for questions and feedback and improvements that needs to be done. So just stay with us, okay? If you are following, you can just send me you can just give a thumbs up emoji or a clap emoji so that I know you guys are with me. Okay, awesome. So first is phishing, right? This is something we already know, or maybe most of us know. We see and hear this every day. Maybe when we are doing some courses, if you go to a bank, if you work in a bank sector, you see that there's a course about phishing and all these cyber activities. So what is phishing? Phishing basically is scammers impersonating as a trusted source. So a source can be an individual or an organization, luring you to give up important and personal information. So this is the act of phishing, and it has three major types, right? So first is smishing, and smishing happens about 28% of the time. So what is smishing? Smishing is the same thing, luring individuals or impersonation as a trusted source or organization, luring you over text message to give out important information or personal information, right? And this happens about 28% of the time. The one we are mostly common, the one we know mostly is the email phishing, which happens about 91 to 96%. So this is basically they are sending you emails to give up important information as well. So this is email phishing, right? And lastly, we are looking at phishing, which happens about less than 1% of the time around the world. I would speak about Nigeria because I know that most of us has encountered that a time where people call you randomly and say, "Oh, your account balance or your account is going to be suspended. We found something in your account. We need the last four digits of your card number to activate something." And this happens over phone call. Most of us has experienced this kind of phishing here in Nigeria, and this happens about less than 1% across the world, right? So basically a legitimate person calling you over phone to ask for sensitive information. So this is what phishing is, and these are the types of phishing that happens, right? What we'll be looking at today is key indicators and percentages. So we want to look at the phishing agent we built. How did he help us to score informations or emails that comes in that are phishing emails or not, right? So we have these indicators, and there are 10 of them. The percentage is assigned to each indicator went into thorough research to get that particular number. So we didn't come up with this number. A lot of research had to go in so that we can determine percentages for these indicators. So first off is general salutation, whereby no actual name is being used. So there's no dear Victor or dear Ernest or dear Oluwatobi. It's just dear user or dear customer. And we capped this indicator at 5%. The next indicator is urgency and threat. So basically an email that comes in that creates a serious panic, maybe from the subject or from the content, a serious panic for you to carry out an action, right? And we have tagged this as 15%. Other kinds of indicators are suspicious attachments, whereby a zip file is sent to you, an exe file, or a dump file, or JS file, or a file format that does not follow the conventional attachments format for emails, right? And this has also been capped at 15%. Impersonated sender domain is basically you see something like in your email that comes in, you see a link to that email, and if you look carefully, you will see that there is a spelling disorder. So an example is PayPal and PayPal one, a PayPal that has a one as an L in it. So this is also a red flag, and we set this percentage as 10. Deceptive links and redirects. So some emails, you see a link, oh, click on this link to go here. And when you click that on that link, you have multiple redirects, right? So all these are red flags that we have tagged for phishing. Other ones is a good to be true offer. Basically, an email saying, oh, you won 10 million naira, or oh, you're a prize winner for so and so. Please click on this link to do this. So that is a too good to be true offer. And also, request for sensitive information. There are some emails where you see that they are asking you for the actual information like personal ID, social security number, NIN number, bank info, account number, and the rest of that. Unexpected or irrelevant content, a content that does not speak to any information you are aware of, right? So we also count this as 5%. Language issues, basically misspelling or grammatical blunders, also capped at 5%, and content information that are not verifiable. You get an email and there is no link to an Instagram page, there is no a physical address, there is no email, a contact person's number or contact information in that particular mail. This has also been capped at 5%. So altogether, we have 10 indicators that we use to determine if an email is a phishing email, suspicious or malicious email, or that email is good to go. Next up is we are looking at an open AI model. So our AI agents or phishing AI agents that was built, we tested it with two models. So one is the GPT-4 mini and the next one is O4 mini, right? So OpenAI models are models that determines how they take requests or taking user inputs, how they process it, and the output they give out, right? So there are two main models we tested our AI agents with, and you will see the difference when we go into the exhibition. So the first one, GPT-4 mini, is just intelligent. It has good speed. It is cheaper per 1 million tokens. So this is very cost effective. So 1 million tokens is like 1 million words. So that's what it means per 1 million tokens. Knowledge cutoff is at October 1st, 2023. Basically, there are other updates that has come after this date, right? But this was the cutoff model for this particular OpenAI model. The maximum output token is 16,384. So what does this mean? It means that if you send a question or send an information to it, the maximum words it can bring back is 16,000 plus, right? This particular model makes use of a think tool. It requires a think tool. So a think tool is basically where it takes notes down to say, okay, I have to do this. Okay, I have done this. So that is a think tool for this particular AI agent. And this particular model is more preferable by most people because it is way cheaper, right? The next model, the O4 mini, is way better for me. It has an excellent reasoning, it has an excellent speed, it's affordable. It's not cheap, but it's affordable, right? Per 1 million tokens. Knowledge cutoff is at 2024, but other updates has come up, right? Maximum output token is 100,000 words, and it requires less thing to be used. It is not widely used it all depends on the use case. So if you have a use case, it depends on all the models, depends on the use case. If you have a use case where you want to do something different, you just find the model that works for you. And here's a note is there are other models that can be used, even apart from OpenAI models. There are Gemini, there are Cloud AI, Gemini AI. You can use any model that suits what you want to do, right? And yeah, these are the two models that was tested with our AI agent. And before we get into the demo, uh, let's just discuss how it works. So first is the phishing AI agent works with an integration with Gmail. So for the Gmail, I'm using my personal Gmail. And what happens is it listens for new messages. So the way it works is when a new message comes in, there are two things that happens. It checks if there's an attachment or not. If there's an attachment, we connect to Virus Total to upload that document, scan it, and get feedback. And this process takes about 2 minutes. And within that 2 minutes, we send a Telegram notification to the user and say, oh, we detected an attachment in your email. We are trying to scan it to detect if it's malicious or suspicious. And that process takes 2 minutes and get feedback and we'll continue the process. Also is if there is no attachment, it goes into the AI agent, determine whether this email is a phishing email or not based on indicators and sets a percentage for each, right? If we detect a malicious email, we send a Telegram message stating that, oh, we have detected a malicious email. Do you want to keep or do you want to trash, right? So the user has the final say of what happens to that particular email. So you can say keep or trash. If it's a suspicious email, we send you a message as well, telling you, do you want to keep or trash? So you can have emails that are malicious and emails that are suspicious as well. And you can also have emails that are good to go that doesn't show any sign of malicious or suspicious activities. And lastly, we'll look at sub workflows and best practices that helped us make the AI agent simple and maybe more straightforward, right? So we are going to dive into the AI agent. So if you can see, this is what the AI agent looks like. This is a phishing agent, and this is what it looks like, right? So I'll be carrying out so many tests so that you can see how it works. But before I do that, I can just go through the whole flow and show you how it works at the end. So this part is the first part where this is the entry point of this particular agent. So this is Gmail connected and we listens for email triggers for any new email that is being received. If we get a new email, we check if it has an attachment, right? If it has, we upload that file to Virus Total, right? Send a Telegram notification about what we are trying to do. Wait for 2 minutes because Virus Total takes about 2 minutes to process that uploaded file. Verify the status of that file and send to a major data, right? So this is for when there's an attachment. So we just work on this flow up here, works on the attachment only. How about the content? The content of the email is sent to this phishing AI agent. This phishing AI agent has some tools available for it to use, which is one of the tools is a think tool. So this particular think tool is responsible for taking notes and stating what needs to be done concerning the actual content of this particular email, right? We also set a memory for it to remember what it has done. And this is our OpenAI model. So this OpenAI model, this is what we are using O4 mini for our OpenAI model, right? Inside our phishing agents, there are a set of instructions and there are a set of rules that needs to happen. So The way I like to build AI agents, I have different categories. I have an overview section. Overview section basically tells the AI agent what kind of agent it is, right? So we have been talking about AI agents. What are they actually? Just see an AI agent as a digital employee. Look at that agent as your normal workplace, somebody you employ, and give the person a list of tasks like this is your job description. This is what you need to do. So that's what an AI agent is. That person with those instructions, or this particular agent with those instructions, it takes those instructions, carry out the tasks it needs to do, and make decisions based on that, right? So back to our prompts or our instructions for the agents. What I'm telling the agent is I'm making it know that it's a cybersecurity expert AI agent, and it has been assigned to analyze email content and determine if it displays signs of phishing. Examine the email carefully for social engineering tactics, technical red flag, and pattern commonly used in phishing attacks. So this is the overview section that helps the AI agent know the kind of agent it is, right? Another section is the tool. So I specify that you have a think tool that helps you so that you know if all the rules, results, and instructions are carried out carefully. You can have multiple tools and you can state, oh, these are the tools available for you to use when carrying out these tasks, right? Also is I have a set of instructions for it, which are my rules. So first off is I tell it assign a total score based on detected indicators from the email. Sum each score and equate it as total score. Each indicator has an associated score weight. So based on our key indicators and percentages, we have listed out 10 of them that this AI agent would use to determine if an email is suspicious or malicious, right? And these are all of them, just like we discussed in the previous slide. And lastly, there's a rule logic, there's a result logic. And I want I want every email above 40% to be seen as a phishing mail, and everything below it can be either seen as a suspicious email or a good to go email, right? So I have a percentage for anything above 40%, see them as malicious email. Anything between 25 to 39 is seen as a suspicious email, and anything below it, the email is good to go, right? So this is the result logic, and I want a format. There's a format I told it to return results as, so that you can use it to process other kinds of flow, right? So this is an example output structure in JSON format. So I want it to get the message ID. I want it to get the thread ID. I want it to get the sender email, sender name. I want it to get the domain so that I can determine if it's a deceptive link or not. I want to know who is receiving the email, obviously me, the subject of the email, the contents, the phishing status, total score, and the indicators that were fetched from analyzing that particular email. I want to know all these things so that I can send it to the user so that the user can know. And also summarizing the message contents and maybe giving out an advice of, oh, don't click this or don't click that. So basically, this is the prompt for this particular AI agent that will help it to determine if an email is a phishing email or not. Right. So when all this here happens, all this is done, we move to this part and we state if this email is a malicious email, right? Send us a Telegram message telling us that we have a malicious email and we are waiting for you to tell us what to do. So they tell us what to do is, do you want to keep this email or do you want to trash it? And based on my selection from Telegram, it carries out that particular activity here. So I have also added a sub workflows so as to keep it clean and follow best practices, right? So a sub workflow is another workflow that is triggered by a parent workflow, right? And this is what the sub workflow for trash email looks like. So we receive input from the parent agent. We take that input and say, should we keep the email or should we trash it? So if we keep it, nothing happens to the email. If we trash this email, it marks it as read and it sends it to our bin. And it also informs us that, oh, we have done this. Your email is in the bin. If you want to see the email, go to your bin and you can see it there. And you can also choose to open it, but we would advise you to carry out consciousness in clicking any links or carrying out any information that the email is asking you to do. So that's how it works. This is the workflow for trash email. So this parent agent calls the sub workflow to do that. Basically doing the same thing, but we are trying to keep it simple. We don't want to cluster the AI agent. So this is why it's just like extending a class. It's just like programming, having methods and all that. So this is the sub workflows it will call. Okay. So I can just run a sample so that you see how it works. So first is I have my email opened up. I have a Gmail and I have about 3 kinds of email. So first I have a email from Jobberman, which this email should be a legitimate email, right? And I have another email that says need verification. So this email can either be malicious or suspicious. And the third email is your account will be deactivated, showing signs of urgency and all that. And this email can also be malicious or suspicious email. And lastly, we have an email that has an attachment to it. So we'll just run through and see how all of them works. So the first mail that would pick is this because it always pick the last one that came in. So which is this particular email. So if I go to my phishing agent and I click on test workflow, you see that the process starts and it is carrying out that particular activity. It's trying to determine if this email is a phishing email or not. And when that happens, it goes and determines if this email is malicious or not. So if you look at the flow here, see that there's an if statement, if malicious, no, it's not malicious. Is it a suspicious email? No, it is not suspicious. So we hit this node and our first email is good to go, right? So this email is clean and doesn't have any sign of phishing. You can open it and see what it looks like. So it's just a Jobberman email. So the next email we can look at is this one. So it needs a verification. This email looks like a suspicious or malicious email. So we can use our AI agent to determine the status of this particular email. So we'll click on test workflow again. And if you see, it's trying to do that determination. When this happens, either it hits any of these nodes here to determine whether it has a phishing content or not. Okay. So we are still waiting for that output. Okay, yes. So if you look here now, it says if malicious, so it is not malicious. So obviously it is not greater than 40%, but it is a suspicious email and it needs urgent attention, right? So this sends me a Telegram message, which I will show you here. So here's my Telegram. And this is the message that just came in now. So it said, suspicious email. Hi, with me. We detected a suspicious email. Here are its contents. You may have to decide to delete or keep this email. Your account needs verification. So this is the subject of the email, and this is the sender. So I just sent it from my other email, right? So suspicious email message. I have analyzed the message you received. It alerts you about unusual activity on your PayPal account and requests urgent attention. While it does not show a sense of urgency, comes from a mismatched domain. So the domain that sent this has a problem, right? And lacks verifiable contact details. Also, unverifiable contact details, another indicator for detecting phishing. It does not contain any links, attachment, or direct requests for personal information, which is good. The total risk score is 30%, is below our phishing threshold. But this email looks suspicious. So I can choose to say, okay, I've seen the indicators for this particular email. Do I want to trash it or do I want to keep it, right? So if I say, this email, let me trash it, right? And I click on trash, I say, okay. It takes me back to this form and say, got it, thanks. And if you look here, this particular email was trashed successfully, right? This particular email has been trashed successfully. If we open up this and view the sub workflow, we can see that this particular email followed this line and trashed the email, right? If we go back here and refresh this, you will not see this email anymore. So that email has gone. If we go to our bin folder, we'll be able to see that particular email here. So this is it in this verification. So this is for detecting suspicious email. So we can look at the next email. So this one looks like a suspicious or malicious email as well. And we can just use our agents to determine if this email goes or not. So we can test this workflow again. And this determination is happening. So based on all the indicators we have fed it, it will determine if it's malicious or suspicious email as well. So this is still processing. The whole process takes less than, for just content, takes less than 30 seconds. So now we determine that this email is a malicious email and another Telegram message has been sent to me. So if I go to my Telegram, you see that it said malicious email. The first one was a suspicious email, but this one is malicious and it told us why. The total, if you check the calculation for the total, you see that it is more than 40%. So there's a generic salutation indicator, 5%, urgency and threat, suspicious attachments, 15%, impersonated sender domain, request for sensitive information. All these things made it a malicious email. I can choose to trash it or keep it. So because this is a malicious email, I can just say trash. And I would like to do this from my phone so that you see how it works or how it processes it. So I have this trash. I just accepted it, and this email has been trashed. If we go here and refresh this page, this email has gone to our trash, right? If we go to the trash, we'll be able to see that particular email here. So this is the email. They had an attachment of doc, DOC, but it was not actually attached. This is just a simulation of what the email is requesting for. And this is the content. We have detected unauthorized login attempts to your Microsoft account within 24 hours, do this or do that. So this is a malicious email, right? And lastly is the one with an attachment. So we can go back and run our last step to determine if the attachment is malicious. Obviously, it's a mutual fund, fund for my fund performance for mutual funds, and it will just check how that works. So you can see that it determined that there was an attachment there. An upload to virus total was done. A Telegram message was sent telling me that, oh, here's the Telegram message, attachment found. We detected an email attachment with the subject fund performance. We are trying to scan it for potential phishing or malicious content. This process will take about 2 minutes, and we'll notify you immediately if any threats are identified. This is the name of the file, and we are just waiting for 2 minutes. So the whole idea about this phishing agent is we want to have some level of confidence that, yes, my emails are safe from phishing emails, which we are more concerned about, right? Um, I I use this for over 2 weeks just to test and see how it works. For me to use it, I had to turn this as active so that it runs every time I get an email. So right now, for this test purpose, I'm just simulating a manual test, but all this, by the time I turn it active, it happens automatically, right? So we'll wait for virus total to give us a feedback in 2 minutes time. I think it's just less than 1 minute now. We can get that feedback. And when that feedback is done, we'll also go through the content of that particular email. We are scanning both the attachments and also the content to determine if this particular email is good to go or if it has phishing in it, right? So this process takes about 2 minutes. When this is done, we'll call virus total to verify that particular document and set the values for them. So yeah, this was done. You see the indication. You see that all the way down. You see that there is no malicious or suspicious email. So this particular content or attachment is good to go. We are just verifying the content to check if that content too is also good to go. And the way I see it is that I think this email is good to go. So it's going to hit this particular node after all the checks has been done. So yeah, just like I predicted. So this is now not a suspicious email, and it will still remain in my inbox. If I refresh, it's still there because it is not a suspicious or malicious email, and no action was carried out. So yeah, this is how this phishing AI agent works. Just like I mentioned, we have two OpenAI model that was used. So one is the O4 mini, which I prefer, and I will show you cost implication for this particular OpenAI model. So this is my OpenAI platform where I subscribe. I paid about $5 to run multiple tests. What I have used so far is $3.42. If I refresh this page, I think it's going to go up because of the test we did, but it doesn't charge as much. So, okay, was just basically, this is now a new value from 342 to 344. And over time, this has been my usage as well. It doesn't, I use an affordable model, which made it's not expensive. It's $5. And this has been running since 19th of May till today. And this is what I've used so far. So if I switch to a lower model, right, I will get it more cheaper. but I'm more concerned about the results that particular model gives me. If I switch this to a cheaper model, which is the GPT 4.0 mini. Yeah, GPT 4.0 mini. This model is cheaper and intelligent, right? But I want something that will give me an accuracy of 90% and above, because we want to detect phishing. If I run this particular attachment again for another 2 minutes, I don't know if it might say it's a phishing email or not. So based on the model, I have a confidence level that this particular phishing agent can do my work, and I don't have to worry about if its answers are correct or wrong. Because I know that it will always be correct. But for me to use that model, it might just cost me an extra, which is not much. I can afford it. It's $5, and I've been using it for about 19 days. It's obviously like 7 or 8 days, and yeah, that is good for me. I can just keep topping up $5 for the next 7 or 8 days and see how it goes. But this is how our AI agent works, right? So let's go back to our slides. And I want to know if you have any questions or any feedback.
All right. So if you have any questions, okay, let me do something. So, do you want to take the questions one after the other? Do you want to take the questions individually? How do you want to take the questions, Victor?
Um, I don't know. Anyway that works. I'm just ready for taking questions so that, yeah, can help clear some ideas people may have. Okay, so one by
Okay.
one is fine.
All
So
right. All right. All right. All right.
so we can just take Christiana's
All right. So
question.
we'll take Christian's question. Yeah.
First one
Okay.
is okay. Mariana, go.
No, no, no.
Okay, so
All right.
let me just take the
Just go
question.
ahead. Yeah.
So apart from cost optimization, what other hardware requirements should we look out for? So first off is everything I demonstrated was in a cloud, right? Oh, so just for the purpose of what cloud engine I'm using. So I'm using it N8N. So this is a cloud service for building. This is a cloud service for building AI workflows, AI agents, agentic workflows, right? So AI agents, workflows, or agentic workflows. So an agentic workflow is an example you are seeing here. There's an AI agent and there's also a workflow, right? Um, this one over here is just the workflow. So there are no hardware requirements that are needed. You can subscribe to N8N. They give a 14-day free trial, right? They give a 14-day free trial for you to use and play around. And subsequently, you pay about 20 something dollar. However, there are other platforms that charges cheaper, right? And there are other platforms that has an integration with N8N that charges cheaper. I use N8N integration with these guys, this particular guys, this is their name, and they charge me $11 per month. If I'm going directly to N8N, they charge me about $24 per month. But these guys charge me $11, so this is cheaper for me, right? But you have a 14 days free trial to test your workflows and see how it works, build one or two things, and yeah, you are good to go. So there are no hardware required. However, N8N and all these AI platforms can provide you servers. If you want to self-host, if you want to host them by yourself, they provide you that particular tool for you to use. For you to do that, it is very important that you know that you are going to be responsible for managing your own server, right? You be responsible for managing your own server and your own domain. But with NHN, all those things are done for you automatically. You just have to subscribe. Okay. So that is for your first question. Your second question is knowing how attackers use AI to their advantage in creating phishing emails, and there is little to no spelling error. How does this serves the baseline of 40%? Because it's indeed a malicious attachment. Okay, so I would explain why 40% was chosen. You could choose to use any percent. The first implementation of this AI agent sets the percentage as 1. When we started building, we set the malicious content to 1%. So anything above 1%, see it as malicious email or a suspicious email. But the truth of the matter is you can still have some legitimate emails that are not phishing, right? So 40% was a good number based on research to use to determine phishing emails. However, we had a 25 to 39 percentage for suspicious emails. And that's why anytime this agent determines suspicious or malicious emails, it sends you a Telegram message summarizing the content of that particular email and waiting for you to take an action. So you determine the final action, but at least your mind has been drawn to, oh, there's an email in my inbox. This email might be suspicious or this email might be malicious. So it's left for me to carry out that particular action to say keep or trash. The reason this happens is if you go normally to your email, you might just read it and you are tempted to click a link. But with this notification, you have the idea that, oh, your senses are up that, oh, this might be a phishing attack, right? So it's important that this percentages you are set. We could do another research maybe in 2 years' time or 1 year's time, and the percentage might go up or down. So it all determines what percentage we use. So for the research we did, 40% was an ideal percentage for malicious emails, right? But lastly is it enough to just trash confirmation mails after detection? Yes, it is very important we put it in trash so that it stays there. And this action is done by you. You chose to keep it in trash. And if that happens, it's good is there. We can't tell the agents to delete it. It's not that we can't do that. We can, but it is not ideal to just delete emails just like that. So we want the user to carry out the action of whether to keep it or delete it. So yeah. And fourth, is it possible to integrate with an API token to other communication channels like WhatsApp, etc.? Obviously, yes. You can integrate with so many third-party tools. I connected to Gmail, connected to Telegram. The reason I used Telegram was I was trying to use WhatsApp before, but it required me to have a WhatsApp business account, and it asked me to verify my account on Meta, which I did, and that process was taking too long, right? So what's the name? Telegram was a 5 minutes bot. You can just create a bot on with 5 minutes, and yeah, they just give you an API key and give you a chat ID and all that. So yes, you can integrate with Slack and also WhatsApp. I think it's also easy to connect with Slack because you just need an API token or API key. But WhatsApp takes it it takes a longer time to get it done on WhatsApp. If you are looking at building something quickly, um, building something that will require you to have tests instead of waiting for approval, Telegram is the way to go. Most people use Telegram or Slack, but I chose to use Telegram because I don't have Slack. I don't have the strength for Slack. I don't have Slack on my system, so I just prefer to use Telegram. So yeah. Thanks, Christiana, for your questions. I hope I answered them the way you wanted them to be answered. Okay, yeah, Babatunde.
Okay, all right. So I think Babatunde's question too has also been answered. All right. So, Victor, just what other use cases do you think we can use this for? Okay. All right. Because now this is cybersecurity. So, is it possible for us to integrate these AI agents to, let's say, security monitoring tool, for instance? Maybe if there's an eye alert and we just give it a prompt to query the alert, to perform investigation, or even notify us on our phones. Is this something we can that this use case can work for, or this AI agent can work for instead?
Yeah, so there are so many use case AI agent can work. So many of them. And there's a question. I'll take that question later. So many use case, even in this phishing agent that was built. While I was building it, there were so many other use cases that came out about phishing that as a version 2 of this particular project ongoing currently, right? That goes in depth into more details about attachments, right? So the example we just showed was just for one attachment. In a case where you have multiple attachments, how does that work, right? So there's a version 2 of this particular agent that goes into finding multiple attachments and carrying that kind of alert and notification. So for your questions, yes, we can integrate AI agents into different cyber alerting systems, right? Alerting based on different cybersecurity thresholds or getting feedback on something that is going on over a domain, over an API, over a server. API communications as well. When detecting that, oh, there is an insecure communication between these two API, we can get that particular notifications and alert the admin that, oh, this person is trying to hack into your network, right? And these are the steps the person is taking. These are the tools the person is taking. Yes, we can have that kind of use case. There are so many other use cases that speaks to our day-to-day lives. Having a social media content creator. There are so many use cases around the world. People bring out different ideas to work with. But for cybersecurity, there are still a lot more sectors in cyber or sections in cybersecurity that has not yet been touched with AI agents, right? So I am just going into these sectors step by step, trying to figure out how we can help systems to be protected, safer, and notify people or notify users that are using the system. So there's a question from Jovita that says, can the flow be tweaked? Yes, the flow can be tweaked. So the interesting thing about this is you can actually export this flow as a JSON format and put it under version control, right? So every UI you saw here is a JSON node or a JSON object connected in arrays or something, right? If you export it, they're just like JSON, so they can be tweaked. Thank you, VDN. And also, can we connect the flow with the web source for response to questions or search? Yes, you can. I have so many projects I've been working on that speaks to this last questions about response to questions or search. Mayana, I know I showed you a couple of them, a couple of them and how they can help us
Yeah.
and solve so many problems. So we are building agents that will change the way people work and people see things, right? So yeah, I think that's the last question. I'm still
Yeah.
available for any other question. Okay.
All right, Lydia, thank you very much. Those were very salient responses to those questions. Yeah. And I like the fact that you're moving across different sectors. This speaks to AI adaptation. Right now we need to be able to adopt AI within Africa so that we can leverage it, we can build on it, we can do things with it. Because if we don't leverage upon it, we will be left behind. Adaptation, and that's what we want to see amongst our African youths in terms of building these solutions. And you feel free to give them some of our. Do you want to bring out some of our nuggets, some of our projects out, or we should just leave it all? Let us keep cooking,
So
yeah.
I can just give an overview of um, um, things I'm currently working on or things I've
All
done
right. Okay.
that's still being maybe just used by a few people. But there's a
Okay.
question from Christiana again
All right.
that
Let's take
speaks to
that.
number 3. So she's talking about trashing an email. Okay, users do not interact with the malicious mail, and because we can't go to people's inbox to delete, it's important to block the indicator of compromise for further occurrences. True, right? True. However, there are so many factors you need to put in place, right? We still want to give the user control, right? Because let's talk about data privacy. Let's talk about data privacy. One aspect about data privacy is carrying out an action without the user giving a consent to, right? So we want that user to give us consent to trash or keep. Also is some people might be concerned about, oh, this AI agent goes through my mail and there's a possibility that it might send out sensitive information to third party. So this is what we have done with these AI agents based on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not about securing, it's also securing users' data. So what we have done with this AI agent is we have told it to read an email, summarize it, and summarize it and send to the user. There's a brain of this particular AI agent, which we have capped at 1. So what I'm trying to tell it to do is, because I can save a whole lot of memory, but I want to save as 1. So what I'm telling it to do is, when you read this mail, remove it from your memory. Don't keep it, right? Because this is people's data. When you get it, read it, summarize it. Don't keep it. Provide feedback. So data privacy and carrying out an action. Also, the first question, um, Christiana asks speaks to a very good data privacy approach, whereby having this particular AI tool or this N8N workflow as an on-prem service, whereby we manage the data. We have that agreement or that terms and conditions that this data sits within our server, and this is how this data will be used, right? Not keeping it. So the point of view of trashing and keeping speaks to the user having the final say on how their data should be moved around within their email, right? So because we don't need lawsuits around us. So that's why that option of keep or trash, right? So basically
Yeah,
that's how
yeah.
it
I
goes.
think Yeah, I think you answered that question very excellently. And as well, just to add to it, this is also a basic AI agent, so it doesn't have extensive features of investigation. Like Vidya was talking about, there's still version 2 coming because we are already talking about picking up the domain and using domain dossier to actually query those domains, as well as using virus total to identify if these domains are malicious, get the IP address, to perform an extensive investigation. That is for version 2, simple workflow. The more you think about some of these problems to solve, the whole workflow becomes very complex, and that's not what we wanted presenting here today. So this is just to give us an idea. Then we as professionals now can look at how best we can implement it within our own enterprise environment. If we want to do it all on-prem to ensure that we have data sovereignty, fine, we can do that. If we want to extend the capabilities of our own agents to do investigation and to perform, let's say, reverse analysis, if the agent can do that, then that can also work too as well. And mind you, this trash is just a folder. Doesn't mean it's been deleted. It's a folder. So there's actually a bin too as well. So this folder was actually created called trash. All right. So I think emails can still also be retrieved, and also investigations can also still be done on them. Then if you're building on your version 2, you can decide to now pick out some of the IOCs from your current investigation and adopt it in your version 2, in your version 3, so that when your subsequent agent is maturing with your environment, it's able to like tackle all the previous ones you have been able to identify. All right. So I feel this just boils down to our own personal implementation of the agent. All right. So that's a great question, Christiana. Thank you very much for that. All
Yeah.
right. So I think there is another question. Uh, so Victor, do you want to take this? There's a question for you.
Yeah, so questions are coming up. And yes, the AI model can be suited to work with SMS app, right? So it all depends how you have to have an understanding of how SMS works, right? So that you can do an actual integration, right? And this is particular to different apps used by different phones, right? Across board, Gmail is the same across iPhone and Android and other kinds of phone. But for SMS app, we have different from iPhone and different from Android. So what anything does is it provides you with a tool to connect over a network, right? Or over an app for a specific device. And yes, with that, we can achieve this same model for text messages. I did some research about voice messages, and I didn't get any good results about it. So for SMS, yes, we can. Jovita also asked a question: can we use it for our apps too, fintech app, to filter the message sent to users? I need more clarity on this particular question. The part that speaks to filter the messages sent to users. We need more context on that particular.
I feel probably differentiating between, let's say, actual message from the fintech or a promotional message. I think Gmail is already doing that by default. That's promotional, that's socials, picks up identifiers and separate them. So, but if it's the same thing that Jovita is saying, it's something you can also build an agent for it as well.
Yeah, I think we need more clarity on this particular question, because the question is, I think there are more to the question so that we know what we're answering. But yes, there are so many things you could use AI agent for. You can integrate it to your app. Okay, so I have an app that I built, and this particular app makes use of tickets. So I have an agent whereby you could book a ticket with that agent. You can just say, I want to go to this particular event. This is there I want to go. Can you help me get a ticket? And it does that for you. But at the end, what you need to do is you need to make payments. So that agent does not handle the payment bit of it. because we speak to a third-party payment gateway to do the actual payments. So what it does is it helps you secure your tickets, get a time for you, get the quantity you need, generates a payment link from the third-party payment gateway, and sends it to you for you to make that payment. So life is easier than filling forms and all that. So the question is to filter the real message from the malicious one. I'm trying to understand, but if I get you correctly, you want for a fintech app. So does it speak to message that comes in or message that goes out? Jovita, if you can give us more use case or context, then we can answer this question. Babatunde, there was a scenario whereby a malware URL was infused into the click to unsubscribe button in the mail. Can this? Yes. So this AI model can handle it, because for one of the indicators, there are links, just like Mariana mentioned, that we use the domain third-party tool to verify that particular domain URL. So there's a indicator for redirects that this AI agents use it to determine if this site, the link to that site, is safe or unsafe. And also, you can also use VirusTotal to do the same approach if you don't want to use the domain tool that we used for this particular AI agent. VirusTotal does so many things for uploads, for chats, for domains, and so many other things. It does that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to also speak that this is now what I use in my email on daily basis to detect
Okay.
phishing. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so at the end, I want to say big thanks if there are no more questions. And this is my my LinkedIn. You guys can follow me or connect with me with LinkedIn. So yeah, thanks, Mariana.
All right.
I'm
Thank you
still here
very
on the call.
much. All right. Thank you very much, BDN, for that wonderful presentation. Honestly, that was very, very insightful. I like the approach we are already taking to um, cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Let me see that virtual round of applause. I can't see it. Let's keep it coming. Yeah. Let's keep it coming. All right. So, um, okay, Victor, please, if you can drop your LinkedIn name as well on the chat board for people to actually follow you up. So please try and follow up Victor as well. He's a great guy, he's a great software engineer and a very great AI enthusiast and professional too as well. So I was nonetheless. So please share your experience, share what you've learned, all right, on social media. You can tag us at Africa Cyberfest on LinkedIn, Facebook, on IG, on Instagram, or IG Instagram, that's the same thing. On X. All right. So feel free to tag us on your experience about this pre-conference workshop series day one. All right. I want to know exactly how you feel about it and if you feel very motivated. Use the hashtag Africa Cyberfest 2025 and Africa Cyberfest workshop. All right. And you might stand a chance to win something. Trust me. I know I'm still wearing our last season JC, but trust me, we have some very nice merch coming into the collections this year. So you can get yourself something by participating fully. We won't take too much time. All right, so we won't take too much of our time. For those of you that are present here today, congratulations because you've learned something great, okay? And it's not going to leave you. This session is recorded, and we'll try as much as possible to put it on our YouTube channels so that you can be able to go back, rewatch it, walk through some of it, look at some things to look at some things that you need to go over again so that you can be able to build some of these solutions yourself. All right. So if there are no anything or VDM, any last words from you before we call it a day?
So my if I want to give a last word is AI is changing the way we do things, the way we I'm a software engineer, right? I write code
Mm-hmm.
for a living. However, there are some things that I want to do or some codes I want to write right now that when I think about it, I use an AI agent to achieve that. I'll give you a case scenario. I was working on, me and my friends were working on something, and this particular client wanted a list of items, right? The
Mm-hmm.
list has to go all the way to maybe 1,000, right? Based on each category for that particular item. And if we had to write the JavaScripts, right, we'll write this and we'll debug it. It might take us 6 hours, maybe 5. But before we started thinking of doing that, I said, "Oh, let's not do that. We can invest time into other things." We used an
Mm-hmm.
AI agent to go through the particular list, get all the categories and all the items, and this happened in 15 minutes. This happened in 15
Wow.
minutes. So I would urge anybody who is trying to go into AI or trying to learn AI agent, try to learn it as much as you can. Not just learning it, try to use it to help yourself, to help give yourself time to do other things. There are other important things that needs to be done. AI agents can help you do that. They will not replace your job, but they will help your job to be easier. So, but the world is changing, so try to change with it as well. What is changing, try to change with it as well. Be an expert in it, and you'll be called to do one or two things. Okay, so that's my closing remark. And thanks for having me, guys. I dropped my LinkedIn, a link to my LinkedIn, so you can choose to follow me or not. So yeah, nice. Thank you for your time and
Please
everything.
follow BDN. BDN is dropping a lot of projects, is dropping a lot of things. So please follow BDN on LinkedIn, and you can get some of those knowledge from him as well. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming to today's workshop series. Tomorrow we are going to be here same time. Again, we're going to be looking at artificial. We're going to be looking at building AI agents for cyber ops, and that will be more focused towards the blue team automation. And we'll also be doing a little bit of prompt engineering. All right, prompt engineering. How do you interact with the AI? How can you query it? How can you construct your overview? You know, VDN showed an overview of how he instructed what the AI agent is to do. So we are also going to be having um, something like that within prompt engineering so that you can be able to structure your request and get an optimal answer from the AI agent. Okay, so stay tuned with us tomorrow, same time, same channel, same station, same Africa Cyberfest. Yeah, same Mayana, same you. We'll all come back here. And please don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to be here tomorrow. Okay, you don't want to miss out on this other uh, session too. Okay, so please and please let's stay connected. All right. Please, if you are not following Africa Cyberfest, please follow Africa Cyberfest. And now, for those of you that are here, let me give you a quick gist. If you have not gotten your ticket, guess what? We are going to open a ticket. Don't tell anybody. All right. We are going to open it today. So you have a chance to attend the African Cyberfest too as well. All right. So just keep it a secret between me and you. You know, that's the perks of coming to the workshop. You get insider information. All right. So please let's keep it jiggy. Let's keep it locked down. And thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the African Cyberfest free conference workshop series day one. God bless you and have a nice day. Thank you.